All right. I may look at a few different screens because I have a dashboard here, multiple screens, and I may look sideways just in case. So I just want to start by telling a bit about myself, like who am I, like what we do if you haven't joined any of our webinars before. So I am Farhad Khan. I am the CEO of the company called Grype Digital, or we are rebranding the company to Member Lounge nowadays. So what do? We build membership websites and association websites in general. We have been working with associations for over 10 years. I live, breathe, and dream websites. I love this work. So I enjoy working with our clients. And every client we work with, we get like new and creative problems, like to make their websites better, make their membership websites better. And we also have a membership management platform called Member Lounge. So Member Lounge is a membership management platform that also automates your member engagement overall. So Member Lounge automates your member engagement and takes your membership marketing on autopilot. So we have built a lot of like membership automation, marketing automation in the Member Lounge platform. So with Member Lounge, you can actually take your membership marketing on autopilot so that member engagement just happens without you having to work too hard for it. So today we won't talk a lot about the Member Lounge platform, but we will talk about your association's public website. Right. So we build the public websites as well. And we also have the membership website platform. So we do both from our company. Okay. Let's see if we have anything here. Okay. And we're also streaming this live on YouTube. So if you missed the session today, you can always find this live on YouTube. So yeah, so check us out on YouTube. And if you like the video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel on YouTube as well. That will mean a lot to us. And if you're joining live on YouTube today, then please submit your questions on YouTube live chat and we will take your questions from there. All right. So with that, let's get started. Anika, just testing the video here. Do you see my slides?
I can't see your slides yet.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
All right. Sorry about that. Okay. So today we'll talk about mastering membership websites. So who we are, what we do. I just told you a bit about ourselves. So we've been working with associations for over 10 years. We have actually built some of the largest membership websites in Canada, like some of the very challenging projects we have worked on. And we also have a very active podcast. We host like the top association podcast in Canada. So if you are not listening to our podcast, we have wonderful guests and live like panel discussions on our podcast. So please like check us out. Our podcast is also on YouTube. So if you just search for Member Lounge podcast, you'll find it on YouTube. There's an audio version as well. So there's audio on our website and you can find the video version on our YouTube channel. Okay, so I'll start by asking a very quick question. What is the biggest challenge with your association website today? Can you please type on chat? What is the biggest challenge you have with your association website? And I'll see if I can address some of the challenges that you mentioned on chat today. We got some amazing questions from when you signed up to the website, to our event. So I'll take questions from there as well. I want to see one or two big challenges. Heather is saying tracking member engagement. Yes, absolutely. You're not the only one. Sherry is saying ability for members to engage with each other. Yes, absolutely. Oh my God, that is so important. Imam is saying not enough information. Okay. Sangeeta is saying people don't go to it intuitively and it is not well organized. Okay, we'll talk about some of this for sure today in the session. Karen is saying it's outdated in style and functionality and revamping is a big undertaking. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so we've been there as well, right? Okay, so we will talk about some of these in the session today. So let's get started. What you learned today is the planning process for the association website. So how to plan your content slightly better, how to kind of like go about the whole planning exercise. It may look like it's a big undertaking. So just like we are just like hearing that some people are saying that it's a big undertaking, website is not organized right now, right? So is there a better way? Can we actually make it simpler? So yes, we can make it simpler. We have a very simple formula. We have a workshop called Winning Website Formula. So with that, we'll share some of that here today. So with that, we can actually make it much easier. We'll talk about some design trends like best practices. I will not go into very detailed design trends, but some best practices that simply work. On average, some practices, if you just follow them, they will work. And then also what drives engagement. So you have to drive engagement with your prospective members and also with your current members. So engagement means two things, right? So you have to attract members, you also have to retain engaged members. So you have to do both. So we'll talk briefly about those. Okay. So we will talk about 5 hot principles in the whole session today. I'll go through them one by one. The very first one, and this is so important and so many people are not doing it. You have to start by telling a story on your homepage. Your website homepage is the first place your members or your prospects or anyone else will kind of like go to learn more about your association. And then when they come to your association website, you have like around like 10 seconds to capture their attention, like, so for busy people it's 3 seconds. Someone who maybe like wants to find out more about you have around like 10 seconds. So you have to tell a story on your homepage. If you don't tell a story, then like you will lose your audience very, very quickly. Now, how do you tell a story? We're going to assume that your members are your main audience. So there are some associations who actually have multiple audiences, and then like some stakeholders are main audiences, and then the general population, the general public is the main audience sometimes for groups that are more advocacy groups. But we will assume that since this group is mostly associations, your members will be your main audience. So if the members is your main audience, then how do you tell a story? We have like this quick formula, winning website formula, where you have to mention 3 things. And these 3 things are super powerful. It's super simple. On the homepage, to tell a story, you have to say, number 1, do you understand the member's problem? So you have been working with members for a very long time, and you have to clearly state the problem that members have, and you have to tell them that you understand the member's problem. Number 2, do you have a solution to the member's problem, right? You just stated that you understand the problem, then you have to say, do you have a solution to the member's problem? Number 3, can you be trusted to provide the solution? Okay. If you can say these 3 things on the homepage, you'll be able to tell a compelling story for your members or for your main audience. And I'll show you some examples of like how this can be done. Okay. It might sound very simple, but when you actually like start doing it, when you apply it in your like website, you will see it's actually not that easy to implement, right? So we really have to organize our thoughts and organize our content to like understand like how can we say this story in the best possible way. So I'll share some examples with you today. So I'm showing you a website right now. It's from a company called, and a nonprofit called Charity Water. So Charity Water, they're not our client, but like we have been following their design for a long time. Charity Water is doing a great job in like telling this story, and they're a large organization with a huge website. But you will see that on their homepage, it's still extremely simple. So they start by, do you understand the members' problem? So their audience's problem is about like water. They provide fresh drinking water to remote regions in the world where there's lack of water supply. So they say that to begin with. And then, do you have a solution to the members' problem? So they actually share how do they provide the water, and how does the water like help the communities in general, right? So they're saying, do we understand the audience's problem? Then, do we have a solution to the audience's problem? Number 2, and then number 3. Can you be trusted to solve the problem? These are testimonials and client stories and case studies. So you'll see right on the homepage, they're sharing stories of whatever they've done in the past. So Dr. Ram, before and after, what has happened, what was the problem before, and then after doing their project, what has changed in their like people's lives. And as I scroll down, you'll see they're telling more stories before and after, more stories before and after, right? So Charity Water, this organization has been doing a lot of work on user experience design, website design, like over the years. And we have been following them for the past 10 years. And every website iteration that they have done, it just gets better. So I'll share some other examples from some of our clients who are more associations or who are kind of like, who may be easier for you to like connect with. So one of our clients is the Writers Union of Canada. And what we did is that when we redesigned their website homepage and we told the exact same story, right? Number 1, do you understand the member's problem? Number 2, do you have a solution to your member's problem? And number 3, can you be trusted to solve the member's problem? The same story. So I'll show you here. So they start by saying who they are, what they do here, right? But right after that, they jump into the members' problem, getting published. So they're one of the main challenges their members have, the writers, is getting publishing their first book or the next book. So getting published is one of the big challenges. So they're saying upfront that finish your manuscript partway through a promising work. So they're stating upfront that they understand the members' problem, right? And then we even put like a download here, like a free download. I'll talk more about this later on. But they're stating the member's problem. They're showing the member that they do understand what the members are going through. And then as I scroll down, you will see they're saying how we support our members with all the different services and benefits that they have. And by the way, there's also a sample of their resources so that people actually get a glimpse of what the membership may be like when they sign up for the association. Okay, so do we understand the members problem, and do we have a solution to the members problem? This download sample, this sample download is actually giving them a glimpse of the solution, right? So you'll see that like how they have done a very good job with our help for sure. So they have done a very good job in articulating whether they understand the members problem and do they have a solution. And by the way, we put testimonials right in between, right? So every single time we refer to the page, a new testimonial comes up. The testimonial shows that we can be trusted to solve the problem. So you can, if you can do video testimonials, that is super powerful. Video testimonials of client stories, or if you have written testimonials, that's fine as well. But if you can combine these three things on the homepage, then you'll actually build a compelling story for your membership. Okay. Now, when we worked with this client website, the Writers Union of Canada, we actually increased their website signups by 5 times. Like even we didn't realize that it's going to be that big, but it was mind blowing. Even we were taken by surprise that when we like painted that picture, like the whole story on the homepage, their organic signups went up by 5 times. Okay. Now, we just talked about your biggest audience, who are the members, right? So, but what do you do for the other audiences? So who may be your partners and also your sponsors? What you have to do is you have to make sure that you have a dedicated page, like the homepage, like the story page, for each of your big stakeholders. In this case, if partners are big in your world, then you have to make sure that you have a compelling story page like that for your partners. And if sponsors are big, then you have to have like another sponsorship page as well that tells a story exactly like this, right? So the worst thing you can do on a sponsorship page is just like show sponsorship packages, $5,000, $10,000, $1,000, right? That's the worst thing you can do ever. Like never do that. So what you have to do is you have to paint a picture. You have to tell a story. You have to tell a very compelling story. And a great way to tell a compelling story is just this simple formula: 1, 2, 3. Do you understand their problem? Do you have a solution? Can you be trusted? So partners come to you with a problem. Sponsors come to you with a problem because they want to connect with your audience, right? So you have to articulate that in your own words so that it relates better with your sponsors. So like I was saying, your homepage should be for your main audience. Typically it's members. And then you should have more like story pages for partners, sponsors, or any other key stakeholders that you have at the association overall. Alrighty. Let's go to the next one. Okay. So principle number 2, take an inventory of what you have or what you want to have on paper first. Before you design any single thing, before you do any work, you have to take inventory of what are the most important things that should go on your website on paper. Why is that? If you take inventory on paper with an Excel or maybe like on a like Word doc, it's much easier to change things around, like brainstorm and whatnot. But like if you do that on the website, like the technology will get in the way. You have to like move things around. You have to talk to the developers, talk to your team members, and then moving things around is actually a bit difficult. So it's always better to do the brainstorming and everything on paper. And we have a formula for doing that. What we do is that we start by listing out your main audiences, right? So like I was saying, for the story, you have to like find out your biggest stakeholders. Here, for planning the content on the website, you have to write down your biggest audiences. So typically for associations, the biggest audiences are this. These are members, prospective members, your staff, volunteers. You will have a board for shares, so boards, sponsors, and partners. You have to keep all of these stakeholders in mind because your public website is mainly for these people. So you want to present a very good message for each of the stakeholders, each of these audiences on your public website. It may get a bit daunting because like if you have so many stakeholders, how do you organize the content, and how will the content flow, which pages are which, right? So, and how do you prioritize certain content over others? So I'll talk about that briefly as well. But while you're in the planning process, what you have to do is that like sit down and like write down the audiences, and then after that, for each audience, write down your key services, your key initiatives, and the partnership opportunities you have with that audience. So again, what I was saying is that like write down each audience, and then for each audience, repeat, write down your services, key initiatives, and partnership opportunities for each of those audiences. Now, we actually have a worksheet that you can download for this. If you take a screenshot of this, I'll leave it up for a bit longer later on as well, but you can kind of like download the worksheet. I'll show you the worksheet very quickly, how we do the exercise with our clients. So what you would want to do is you want to list out your audience personas. So who are the different audiences? You will list out that these are my main audiences. And then with those audiences, you want to see what do you want them to know when they come to the website, and what do you want them to do, right? So again, before going to the website directly, before jumping in, what you want to do, you want to like take our worksheet from our website. You'll get the free download from the QR code, but you want to write this down on paper first, right? So like someone was saying that you have a lot of content and you don't know where to start. Something like this, a planning process like this is the place to start. List out the personas or audiences, then list out what do you want them to know and what do you want them to do. And this is taken from our real workshops designing real website. This is not like hypothetical. We are actually doing workshops with our clients right now as we speak. One of our clients is going through this right now. And then what you will do, when you write down like what do you want them to know, what are the key messages, these will form the website navigation and the content of your website, right? And in the process, you'll also like prioritize your audiences, like who's your primary audience number one. Then most of the website real estate on the homepage will go to your main audience who's priority number one. And then the remaining audiences will get like lower priority on the homepage and across the website. So this is the planning process for your audiences. And there's more in this worksheet. So the worksheet is free for you to download if you want to like take a look on our website. Okay, so please take a screenshot of this QR code if you're here right now so that you can go there later on and then do the worksheet on your own. All right. By the way, I just saw a familiar face in the audience, Bruce Rosenthal. Bruce, thank you for joining us today. It's great to have you here.
Thanks. Okay. Sorry I'm late.
Alrighty, wonderful. So the next principle is KISS. So keep it simple, stupid. I don't know if you have heard of this before, but like the KISS principle has been like around like for I think like a decade, and it's super powerful. What we want to do on the website is we want to make sure that all of your content and UI and everything is super simplistic, right? If ever in doubt, don't try to get fancy. Don't try to be advanced. Don't try to like have like interesting pun on words, right? So in your messaging, in your graphic and whatnot. So you have to start by keeping things simple first, right? So keep design and like navigation and everything simple. And then after that, once you have nailed down the simplicity, then you grow from there, right? Then you add more colors, more design, slightly better content, slightly better pun on words, right? But you have to start by keeping things simple to begin with. Hence the workshop, So in the workshop, like we do we complete that whole worksheet, and in the worksheet, we kind of like force our clients to keep things simple to begin with by focusing on what is most important right now. So when you're designing the navigation, so the biggest problem we find with a lot of associations is their navigations like are like very difficult to follow, right? So that's why I thought like I'll spend a bit of time to talk about the navigation. So your navigation on the website is probably one of the most important things, because the navigation will help your audience get to the different pages, the most important pages. If your navigation is wrong, or if people can't find certain things, you will lose your audience, like for sure, right? So you need to make sure that 80% of your website pages is accessible with 2 clicks or less. Okay, it may sound very challenging for someone who actually has a lot of content, but there's a way to do that even as well. So we have built websites with like hundreds and hundreds of pages, and even with hundreds of pages, we managed to do just that, 2 clicks or less. It is possible. I'll show you how. So you need to make sure that all your pages 80% of your pages are accessible with like 2 clicks or less. And the next thing is that you want to limit your navigation to 3 main navigation areas on the website and no more, right? So, and I'll show you examples. So it should be the header navigation, the main navigation that you have at the top, the footer navigation that you have like at the bottom, and then sometimes we have like a top navigation all the way at the top where you kind of like put contact us, login links, or like commonly used like links like that. So try not to have more navigations like than that. Like 3 is already plenty. So keep everything to these 3 navigations. And I'll show you an example where you can actually like even address very complex navigations in a very simple way with the use of mega menus. So if you don't know mega menus, then like I'll kind of like show you quickly. I just want to see on chat, who doesn't know what mega menus are? I'm assuming a lot of you know already. I'll just like let you comment that like who doesn't know mega menus? Sangita is saying I don't know. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so there are a few. All right, so I'll spend a bit of time there. It's actually very simple. What happened here? So I'll give you an example from this website. Okay. So the Association of Theological Schools, it's an association in the US. Now, they have done a lot of things great, but they haven't like done everything the way we would like them to do. That's why I wanted to like bring up this example for you, right? I can kind of like critique this site a little, and then like our client websites are not great examples for critiquing because we have already cleaned everything up, right? So if we show you those, then I will not be able to talk about them. So I wanted to kind of bring someone else, but some things that they have done are really good. So the main navigation here, so this is the main navigation at the top, right? So this is what we call the header navigation. Then all the way at the top, this is the top navigation. Okay, so at the top we're seeing two navigations, top navigation and then the main navigation right after that, right? And you'll see that these guys actually have a lot of like pages. Like they're an old association. They've been around for a long time. They have lots of content. Now, when I mouse over one of these areas, a big menu drops down. You see, there's a big menu here. So even though they have a lot of content here, just by having this big menu drop down, they're able to show a lot of content all at once without having nested menus, right? This is what we call a mega menu. So and you'll see that like this menu is not like just like a drop down, like a thin drop down. This is like a big drop down that took over the whole screen, which is fine, right? So and something that they have done very well here is that like in the mega menu on the left sidebar, they're showing the less important links, and the more important links are highlighted right in the middle, right? So with an interesting like spin on UX overall, you can kind of like address the issue that if you have like hundreds of pages, you can still actually have like a clean UI, clean navigation overall. So this is an example of a mega menu, and there are interesting ways of doing that. So if I go to the next tab here, so next menu here, you'll see that like this menu actually changed. It looks it looks a little different because they wanted to highlight different things here, right? So you can have multiple columns, and then you'll see that typically what people would do is that they would probably have the membership menu, and then under that they will have this menu, this menu, this menu. When you mouse over one, it will expand and show one more. We don't want that nesting. That is bad, right? We want to show you a big drop down with like with mega menus so that you can jump to the content as quickly as possible. Okay, so this is what we call a mega menu. Okay, and then the next menu will be all the way at the bottom. So if you scroll down, you'll actually see that there's a menu at the bottom as well, right? So you want to have another menu at the bottom with some content that you didn't show at the top of the page. Okay, and like we're actually seeing a trend where people are making this footer menu bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So a lot of the pages that were not available at the top, you can kind of like put them at the bottom, and this is actually gaining in popularity. There's another concept called upside down website. I will not get into that today, but upside down website ideas, they actually like do this a lot. They actually have like they make their navigation heavy at the bottom and not at the top, and the top part is reserved for the most important content. I'll critique this website a little more as I go through. You'll see that they have a big sliding banner at the top, right? So these sliding banners are actually not good in general. This is not a good design practice because people don't like stick around to see what's coming if it's sliding automatically. Or when you click on the right, you don't know what to expect. It's like a big surprise. So people are less tempted to click on the right, and people are more prone to scrolling. So people will like scroll quicker than going sideways here, right? So if you have content that you are thinking you should put like on a banner like this, put them stacked on the main website so people can scroll and get the content very, very quickly. So stacking is better than sidewise sliders in general. Okay, I'll show you another quick example because these guys are doing a wonderful job with their mega menus in general. So the HubSpot website is a great example as well. So you'll see if I come to HubSpot, if I go to the first menu, they actually have another interesting like twist on the mega menu, right? So they have designed the mega menu so well. So they have two things that are very highlighted, the top two, and then there's more the different packages that they have, and then they have more HubSpot AI and then App Marketplace, right? So you'll see that they actually made the mega menu slightly more interesting. So you can like play with the design like this. If I go to resources, this is more simplistic, right? So you can actually tell right away that the first menu here, this is more like salesy, this is more marketing driven, because this is looking better. And then resources, this is less salesy, right? These are more resources content that they want their audience to have, ebooks, blogs, like that. Yep. Alrighty. The next two ideas are like provide a search. So if your website, okay, now search, for the longest time, I have been like against search, like search boxes on the website, and I'll tell you why, and then like why searches are needed. And a client actually changed my mind at one point in time. So you have to make sure that your navigation, the main website navigation, is extremely clean, and then the navigation actually gives you a way to funnel your audience to where you want them to go. Your navigation is a way for you to funnel your audience, right? So with a creative design, like with a creative funnel on the navigation, you can point people, you can actually like take people to where you want them to go, not where they want to go, but you can kind of like take people on a journey through the use of navigation, right? But there will be times where like if you actually have a large website, your navigation will fall short for sure. If you'll actually have lots and lots of content, and then a member who's looking for something or a prospect who's looking for something quickly, they may not have the time to actually look through all the navigation menus. In those cases, a search is extremely powerful. So that's why provide a search like wherever you can. If your website is very simple, that's a different story. Then like you don't need to put a search. But if you have lots of content that you think your members or audience will not find from your navigation menu, then definitely do put a search. So search boxes are like very easy. All platforms actually have a search tool. So if the tool is there, then just use it. It's free for you to use. And then also another important thing is quick links. So sorry. We know that with a good design of the navigation, we can kind of like route people to where we want them to go and like guide them to like important like areas of the website. But sometimes there are things that are very timely and time sensitive, right? For example, you have an upcoming webinar, or you have an annual report that people may be looking for, right? So for things like that, you need to put quick links from other parts of the website. So typically on the homepage, right? So what you can do is that like on the homepage, you can very easily put different sections. So if I go back to the example, so maybe, yeah, with these guys. So if I look at this example, and then if I scroll down, you will see that they actually have like a news area here, which are like very timely. So new news will actually show up here. So there's that upcoming event. These are more timely, right? So you want like quick links section like this as well. And then so with this association, they have upcoming events and news, right? And then what we actually did, I'll show you with our client's website, which I think is like performing really, really well. With the Writers Union of Canada, we created the quick links area right at the top, right? So this top area, this line, they can modify with any important information, like that is more timely. And then the call for submission, this is another area that they can like where they can highlight certain things that are happening. They can post events there, they can post conferences and whatnot, right? So we actually put this on purpose. So if there is something happening that is very time sensitive, we put them right up at the top. So this is what we call quick links. So you can have quick links at different places on the website. So we chose to put them at the top for this association because like we thought that these were super important, and then we took the members on a journey after that, right? But you can do the other way around as well. You can have the member story or the story journey at the top, and then have the quick link section underneath as well. So that's fine too. So, but you need to have a quick links area like that where you can kind of like add things ad hoc as needed. Like whenever you think something is timely. We were just like doing a workshop with one of our association clients, and they were saying that like they just like got a complaint from one of their regulators, and they were saying that they could not find their annual report on their website. And they were like, it's right there, like we can all find it. Like why could the regulator not find the annual report? And then they emailed us, and then we gave it to them and we showed them where the report is. So I told them that, see, like we always look at our website from our point of view. We always think that it's like it's there, we know it, right? But we have to kind of like create the navigation from a member's point of view as a job to be done. What is the member coming here for? What is the audience coming here for? So from their point of view, to make it easy for them to understand. All right, so that's quick links. By the way, if you have any questions, please submit them on chat. Oh, Ali is asking, a vertical dropdown that takes up the full screen is better. Yes, exactly. That's right. That's right. So Sonia is saying, how well do menus work on mobile devices? Yeah, so I think like Ali was replying to Sonia. That's right. So on mobile devices, you're right. You actually want a vertical dropdown. That is actually much better, right? So on a mobile device, you'll probably like have the person's attention for a little longer in general than a website. So you can kind of like make a vertical dropdown with like as you tap, the menus will expand. That's actually better on mobile. Okay. Okay, the next big idea, you have to remove friction. If there is one thing that you take away from the webinar today, if there's one thing that you can do, is to reduce friction from anywhere you think there is friction. And like our rule of thumb is that like anywhere you're collecting money from the member, anywhere on the website where you're collecting money, you need to remove friction from there. And typically these areas are registration, number 1, renewals, number 2, and non-dues revenue, number 3, right? So you have to make sure that you remove all the friction from here. And how do you remove friction? Typically, associations will actually have like a long application form most of the time, right? So any information on the application form, you're actually not going to use in the next 2 years. And that is one of the thresholds. So if you're not going to use any information for the next 2 years, remove that field from the application form. You do not need that, So if you like, if you're not going to use it for the next 2 years, very likely you will not use it in the next 5 years even, right? So that's why think of it in the next 2 years. Can you see a good use of a field on the registration form for the next 2 years? If you cannot use, if you are not going to use it, remove the field and make the registration process as simple as possible. Make the payment as simple as possible, right? So that's number 1. And then in the registration process, like remove any manual step, right? So make the registration fully automated for the member. So the member does not have to reach out to any one of your team members. So you submit the application form. If there's an application, submit the application form. Right after that, the payment comes up. You process the payment, and then the membership is active. The member gets a welcome email. The member can log into your member portal right away, right? So we want the registration to be this frictionless, and our platform Member Lounge does all of that for you, right? So on Member Lounge, we kind of like took it to a next level. We have a very dynamic configurable application form, right? So you can support like diverse needs of the audience of different associations, but then the whole process is super automated, right? So starting from the application to payment to welcome email, and then all the way to the end, if the payment goes through, the member logs into the platform automatically, starting to use your services. So same with renewals, make renewals as simple as possible. If you can, then make renewals automatic, right? Automatic renewals are super powerful. There is a study, there was a survey done by Marketing General Incorporated like last year, and they do it like every year. In that survey, they found that 30% of members did not renew simply because they forgot to renew. Can you imagine 30%? That is 1/3 of your membership, right? So if you can make renewals automatic, a big portion of your like people who are not renewing, they will kind of like start renewing automatically. Again, same with non-dues revenue. If you have non-dues revenue sponsorships, make that process as simple as possible. Okay, the next thing that I want to share is storytelling. I don't know if you have heard about this. So I was just telling you earlier that people are more likely to scroll than to kind of like click on buttons or to click overall, to click sideways or click on menus. So people are more likely to scroll. So that's why what we're doing nowadays is that like we're telling a story, we're painting a picture as we scroll down on the website, right? So and that actually like is called storytelling. It's a new term in technology in UX, right? So storytelling has become very popular nowadays, and you will see big companies implementing a lot of this. Apple, the website apple.ca, apple.com, they have actually taken it to a whole new level. So I'm not saying you have to be like Apple, but I think like if you can like create like a long page with a story on the pages. So long pages are fine. Don't worry about like making your pages too long. I think it's fine, right? So long pages are not bad as long as your content is engaging, as long as your messaging is captivating, right? So make sure that you tell a story as you scroll. Okay. By the way, so for anyone who's actually here in the session today, like I'm happy to take like a one-on-one action plan meeting with you, like with you all. So book a time on my calendar. Like this is not a sales call. If you jump on a quick 20-minute call with me, I'll just like look at your website. If you have any questions, I can answer your question and then give you some advice on what to do from here after the webinar. I have more slides to cover, but I thought I'll just like put it here. So Anika, do you mind sharing the link to book a meeting on chat? This is a free call for you, right? So it's just a 20-minute call. If you have any question, I can kind of like look at your website and give you some guidance. Alrighty. So the link is on chat. Please book a 20-minute call with me so I can help you out more with your website. Okay, the next idea, and I don't know if some of you already know this, but I saw this question from the audience question that was submitted, that like it's difficult to kind of like organize the member content versus the public content. So you have to have a separate member and partner portal than the public website, right? So, and this is super, super important. And I'll show you an example why. We have a 3-part membership website formula, right? So what we do is that we tell that your association will need like 3 main technology platforms to manage your memberships well. You need a public website to begin with. Then you need a member portal. This is just for members who has paid and has become members. So member portal can be for the partners as well. And then you need a CRM, which is for the staff. So for the public website, the audience will be your prospective members, stakeholders, the public, regulators, the rest of the world, right? So that's the audience for the public website. For the member portal, it's only paying members, sponsors, and partners, and people who want to do free trials, right? So the audience, see the audience is so different for the website and the member portal, right? So when you mix them together, it becomes super challenging to maintain like a good flow and then organize the content well, because you're mixing up different audiences, right? And finally, your CRM, the audience for the CRM is your staff, right? So your CRM should be designed to kind of like make it easier for your staff. And the goals of these 3 platforms are very different. So the goal for the website is to communicate the value of your work. Your public website is a marketing machine designed to bring you new members, designed to bring you new prospects. So if we keep that goal in mind, then I think it'll be much easier for us to organize the content. The member portal, on the other hand, the goal for that is to deliver your membership partner services, your member services, partner services, sponsor services, right? The member portal's main goal is that it's a service delivery tool, right? The member portal and the public website has very different goals. And finally, the CRM, the goal for the CRM is to maintain your member database so the member database is clean and your staff can kind of like find whatever they're looking for. The moment we try to mix these 3 together, it becomes a nightmare. And a lot of the association management system like AMSs, they actually do that, and that becomes very challenging. So I'll give you a quick example, and please don't be offended by this example that I'm going to show. If someone from this organization is here, again, this is supposed to be constructive criticism, right? I don't mean to like put you down or anything else. I just found the quickest example I could find like for this webinar. So I'll show you what happens when the membership portal and the website are merged together, jumbled up together, what issues actually come up. So I'm going to share the website of CSAE, no one else. If you know CSAE, then yeah, you know them very well. We are big fans of CSAE. We are a member, sponsor, partner of CSAE, right? But I feel so bad to share their example, their website, but it is what it is, right? So so you'll see what is happening. I just logged into the CSAE website today, and after I logged in, right, I actually see that the navigation that I had for the public website, it's still there. I just logged in. I have my account. I have everything, but I still see this. So this is actually a problem for me in general, right? So because like I'm not seeing member specific content right away, so it's a disconnect. This is what happens when you have the member portal and the public website all together, right? And then okay, so I would think that okay, so if I scroll down, I'll see more member content. But not really. I'm seeing the same content that others see as well. I haven't seen anything member specific yet. Okay, finally I see one, right? One link, but I could miss this link very, very easily. All right. So now going at the top, right? So if I click on my account, I would assume from the top, again, like as a novice user, I don't know CSA very well, say for example, a new member, right? I'll probably click on my account to kind of like go there. But before that, I already paid for the membership. I already registered. Why am I seeing become a member? That's another disconnect. Did my payment not go through? Right? So these are the problems that come up when you have the public website and the member portal all together, right? Ideally, once I have paid my membership is active, I do not want to say become a member here anymore. I want the organization to know that I'm a member. This is a complete like technological disconnect, right? Now, if I go to my account, I want to see everything about the membership, about the profile, and then the content that I can access. Typically, I would expect that. The moment I go to my account, I again see join today, yet another disconnect. right? But the challenge that is really happening here, it's not their fault, right? It's mainly because they have the public website and the membership portal all jumbled up together. That's why this huge disconnect, right? So when I become a member of SACE, the very first time, I think 3 or 4 years ago, right? Our payment went through and I came here and I kept complaining that like my membership isn't active, and they opened a support ticket with them. I told them, hey, this is going on. And then I realized, oh no, it's a programming problem. They didn't actually organize this very, very well, right? So this is the problem that typically happens if you have the member portal and then the public website all together, right? So our client websites are actually very, very different. So say I come here, right? And then the moment I click on member login, I get taken to a member portal area, which is completely different. It's a different website. But here, the moment you log in here, we remember everything about the member, everything and everything, right? And the experience is catered to them towards the members only. So, and the members can actually get a very good experience, both members and partners. So that's why keeping them separate is super important. Okay. The last idea I want to share today, and I'll jump into audience questions right after that. So you have to complement your sales and marketing on your public website. And what do I mean by that? You have to keep in mind that your public website is not just a brochure, right? It's a marketing machine. It's a sales machine for you. You have to make sure that you're leveraging your website for your like sales and marketing teams overall. So a very quick way of doing that is to capture business leads with lead magnets. And this is a very simple idea. Anytime you want to give away any download that is free for members, capture their email with the download, right? And how can you capture their email? You can capture their emails with free events. Have like some free events for your prospects, so that like prospects can kind of like get a sense of your membership by joining the free events, and in the process you collect their email, right? If you have some guides, if you have resources, if you have worksheets that you can give away, typically we say that you should give away your best content to your prospects, your best content. Literally, if there's one piece of content that you think gets the most download, give it away for free on your public website. And by doing that, you will capture the people's emails, and then you can use that email for future marketing. I'll show you a quick example of this that actually worked really, really well. So again, with this client of ours, we'll go back to their public website. We were trying to build the lead magnet. So we were thinking, okay, so what what is the download, like that we can put that will attract members very, very quickly. So we looked at their Google Analytics, like from their previous website, and we found the most downloaded resource. What is the one document that is most downloaded, right? We found that it wasn't even a document back then; it was a page, right? So we took the most viewed page. The page had lots of content, and we turned that page into a download. This is the getting published FAQ. This was the most viewed page on their website, on the previous website. We turned that into a download, and people come here, they enter their email and they download, and lo and behold, guess what happened? Their organic signups from the website went up 5 times, like literally 5 times, like within the first couple of months after the website was launched. And like before, like doing this whole website journey, this association was actually like using an outbound method to attract like writers. So they would kind of like have like a email sales campaign. They would send emails, like cold emails, and they will send like actual mail, like a physical mail packages, like to writers to attract them, right? So it was very outbound approach. They were like doing a lot of like sales overall, right? But after we did this whole like website journey, it became all inbound. Now they don't have to go to their members. The members are coming to them. People who are coming to the website, they download these guides, they download these, and they also download this sample of Twerk resources. And as a result, they collect the emails, and then automatically they can be included in the marketing campaigns, right? And so then what happened is that their website became like a marketing machine for them, and people are coming to them. They're getting like an almost infinite source of like they have like almost infinite supply of emails from their website. So in this process, what happened is that their public website became a marketing machine, and it's complementing their sales and marketing overall. Okay. So those were the 5 top principles. I'm just going to like take the audience questions now. I'll just see if there's any audience questions from the chat. Okay, if you have any question on any of the ideas, please like drop them on chat. I'll take some questions that I got before from the registrations. I'll just switch my screen. I highlighted a few questions here from the audience that the question that was submitted. So Leslie is asking, what are some suggestions for different web platforms? Sorry, I have the emails here published. I don't know if I can hide the emails. Sorry about this. This was a complete mistake. Simple. Emails are hidden now. All right. So Leslie is asking, what are some suggestions for different web platforms to make it simple and more make it seem more innovative? Okay. Yeah. So I think like in terms of like web platforms, I would say WordPress is the most common website platform that I think you should use, right? So WordPress is like a very popular platform, very easy to use, and this is probably the most affordable as well. Like even compared to different AMSs, if you can use WordPress is super powerful. If you don't have the budget to do a WordPress website, then definitely do like use an AMS, right? So there are many out there, but our preferred platform is WordPress, right? So a majority of our new sites are using WordPress. A close second that we find like after WordPress would be Drupal. Drupal is another platform that we use a lot that is very configurable, and you can customize it really, really well. But Drupal isn't super expensive. WordPress is cheaper. So I would say like stick to WordPress. I think like there's a stat that 50 or 60% of the world's websites are built on WordPress. Can you imagine? It's mind-boggling. So there's a huge proportion of this of the web running on WordPress. So there's no reason why you can't. So WordPress is our go-to choice like for platforms. And again, like WordPress can actually like make it easy for you to manage the site as well. WordPress paired with Elementor. WordPress and Elementor together like forms like a power couple that makes it easy for you to manage the website and also like make the website very intuitive. Jennifer was asking how to retain members. So really, like this is an engagement question, right? So I don't want to like go deep into this, but I think retention of members is really about engaging members and then giving them value, right? So if you have like if you had a very good member engagement campaign overall, if your members are getting value, retention will not be a problem. And oftentimes we think that retention happens at the end of the year. So that is really a myth. Retention does not happen at the end of the year. Retention happens during the year, throughout the year, right? So during the year, if a member did not get value, from the association, they will not renew at the end of the year. So retention happens during the year. So our platform Member Lounge does a great job in member retention. We automate the member retention overall. So if you think that like you need help here, please book a call with our team, and then we can show you a demo of Member Lounge and how Member Lounge can help you automate the member engagement overall. And again, on the website and anywhere, anything you can automate, you should absolutely automate. So for example, you see like this lead magnet downloads, these are fully automated. Once you download this, the email gets sent to the association staff, and they get a regular report, and they take the report. The emails get into their email tool like MailChimp. They're fully connected, right? So anytime when the association is trying to send out an email blast, they don't have to wonder or worry that the latest emails are not there. We tied everything in so well that next time when they're trying to send an email campaign, all these emails are right there. So anything you do not automate will be a problem. So you have to automate everything as much as you can. To the next question, how to keep a website clean and concise when there's a lot of necessary information resources that need to be accessible. Yeah, so like I was saying, in our worksheet, the worksheet download is actually there for you as well for free. So if I can go back to the worksheet. So if you want to like take this worksheet, right, and then organize the content like this based on persona, or like what are the different audiences, who are the priority audiences, and what do you want them to know? So like start by doing this, so start by like with an like outside in approach, right? So like look at the audiences, what do you want them to know, and then work backwards from there. So this is super powerful to organize the content. Okay. The next question is from Haley. How to best highlight an association's foundation on the main page when the foundation has its own page? Yeah, so like what I was saying earlier, this is by using quick links. So if I go back to the website, this website here, you see that what they have done, they actually have different boxes, right? Their membership accreditation resources, right? I think if the foundation is a big part of your association, then I would kind of like give it like a whole section here, a whole section saying like about our foundation, and then give it a little blurb about what the foundation is about, and then a call to action, a button for the person to go to the foundation webpage. So this is a good way. Or if you think foundation is even more important, then put like a link on the navigation up top, our foundation, right? Amber is asking, I'm interested in learning more about the importance of automation and member engagement. Oh my God, like automation and member engagement is so important. So yeah, so like I was saying that so every single month, like when this client of ours, they're kind of like sending an email blast. This, like if the download emails are automatically sent to their MailChimp, this is one less thing they have to worry about, right? And this is like a problem that when technology is super powerful. Once you make the connection, they will stay there for years for you to come. You put in the automation once, it will do its job. It will work for you day in, day out without you having to think about it anymore, right? So like powerful technology automation platforms are extremely helpful. So then the session staff in this case, they can focus on the email content, right? So if the connection from this download to the MailChimp was not done, they would easily spend 30 minutes to 1 hour to download a report from here and then import it on MailChimp. And they would wonder, oh, you know what, did I miss anything? There's another added like step there, you know, and all that like brain cycle could be easily used on email content. So the more you can automate, the more your like attention and efforts can go towards things that are more like effective, like email content and your resources in general. I'll actually show you something very quickly, why automation is so important. Our member launch platform. So this is the member portal platform like that we have called member launch. So member launch is like it takes member engagement automation on steroids. It takes it to the like a whole new level, right? So anything happening on the member launch platform, like a new resource, a new event, a new discussion, gives you like a little notification on the timeline on the homepage, so that like members actually get them right away when they log into the site, right? And also like what we have done is that we send a lot of notifications from the site outwards, you know, like to their emails, but like it's not spammy, right? So like the moment we say that, like our platform sends a lot of notifications, people ask like, okay, but it's so spammy, I don't want to send more emails. I'm like, okay, so we have done something that is very different. We made the emails relevant, you know. So what is spam? Spam is something you don't want, right? But on this platform, what we have done, we allow people to follow content all over the site. So you see there's this little button called follow. You can click on this to follow this content, and then you'll start emails from this content only and from nothing else. So these follow like prompts are across the site everywhere, right? So then what we do is that like members get notifications that are relevant content or things that they are following. So then like, and there's so much automation happening from the platform that like members get a relevant email right on their email, and then they click on a link and they come back to the site, and it's not spamming, they get relevant content. So automation in member engagement is super important in general. What are some techniques to generally reformat all website content with a member focus? William is asking that. So here again, like I'll go back to that slide that I mentioned, that the storytelling approach, the three like ideas, right? So do you understand the member's problem? Do you have a solution? Can you be trusted? So you need to start like there. The main thing should be there. But after that, you need to have an area that actually like gives the members a glimpse of the member benefits. And I will go back to that example one more time with our client. You see what we did is that like we did this download a sample of Twerk resources. This sample is so powerful, right? There is a member benefits page up there. So become a member. Become a member is actually like a wonderful page where it gives all the member benefits, right? So this page is like custom designed. So it lays out everything very well. It is a journey, and then at the bottom we say start your application to become a member, right? So this is also a journey, and then there's eligibility and whatnot. So you need to have a benefits of membership page like that, right? For sure. But then on top of that, what we have done is that like on the homepage there's a sample download of resources. Sorry if I'm going like too fast with the screen. This sample download gives them like a real glimpse of some of the resources, so the members can vet, is this good for me? Okay, so those were the top questions that I had here. I won't have time to kind of like take many more, but is anyone in the audience who wants some of their questions answered? If you have any questions, please drop them on chat. Okay, if not, then I think like I'll keep going and take a few more questions from the list here. Okay. And by the way, like there's a link on chat to book a 20-minute call with me. It's a 20-minute call, and then I can kind of like take a look at your website, and then we can understand whether some of these ideas apply to your website and how, right? Or what is your next step overall, right? Yeah. So I'll take this question from Heather. I see Heather here, so I'll take this question. How are associations or others using AI with their websites? Okay, so we're actually heavily investing on AI right now. I don't know if Heather is here. Oh, Heather is here, yes. So Heather, so we're heavily investing on AI right now, and how are we? What are we doing actually? So there are two areas where we are using AI. We'll go back to our site here. So the two areas, and it's not released yet. It'll be released in the next like couple of months. So one is automated member support, right? So we're working on a chatbot that'll kind of like automatically answer some member questions using your association's policies and resources, right? So it's not a generic chatbot like Intercom where like it'll kind of like give you like random answers and like questions will not actually be relevant. Our chatbot on the member launch platform will actually be super relevant to your association's policies and the content that you upload on the resources area, right? So our resource portal on the member launch platform looks like this. So it's a very simple area where you can like click on a few filters and get to the content that you want very, very quickly, right? And what we're doing is that on the first version of the chatbot, we'll kind of like give the members quick answers to like regular membership questions based on your membership policies, whatever policies you set aside for your association. And the next release after that, sometime mid next year, will be it'll answer questions based on the resources, the content that you have here in the resource portal, right? So this is like next level. So we're actively investing in that. And the other area that we're investing in is that discussions area, right? So we're finding that a lot of associations, they're saying that moderating the discussion groups, moderating their members, like members area, the discussion area is taking them a lot of time, right? So then we were trying to find out like, why do we need to moderate so much? What is the need, right? So then we realized that they're worried about questionable posts. They're worried about like abrasive comments. They're worried about like having like an outrage, you know, like in the member community overall, right? So they're worried about those posts only. So we are working on an AI tool to do sentiment analysis, right? So anytime a member will post a comment, we automatically do a sentiment analysis. And then if there were rude words there, if there's profanity or something questionable, we give it like a score, right? That like if it goes beyond a certain threshold, we flag that post, and we would kind of like send it through a moderation queue. So an admin staff or a moderator can actually moderate that and then approve or not approve. So these are two main areas that I'm working on. Now the last thing that you can probably use is that like anytime you are creating any content, creating a webinar, sending out an email, use ChatGPT to review your content, right? So a very simple thing to do would be if you're creating like a webinar title, right? Ask ChatGPT, right? Hey, I'm working on a webinar title on this topic, right? And this is the topic I have in mind. Can you rate this topic on a scale of 1 to 10? Right? And ChatGPT will actually give you a rating and then give you some suggestions as well. Then you take the suggestions, make the changes, ask it again, iterate a few times until you get to a score of 9 out of 10. And our team uses that all the time. Like every single webinar topic that we have is ran through ChatGPT, so we can optimize it and we can kind of like get to a better state. And that can work with many other things. You can also use it for your email subject lines, right? So if you're sending email blasts to your membership or like to your prospects, run the email subject line by ChatGPT and ask it to rate on a scale of 1 to 10, right? And then optimize. All right. Okay, we're out of time, so I think I'll wrap up. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today. It's the holiday season. You know, this is our last webinar, last like event of the year. So I'm so glad that so many of you were able to join today. I'm so excited to see you here today. Again, like if you have any questions, please submit them on chat right now so we can take them later on, or book a call with our team. So the link is there. It's a 20-minute call. Book a call with our team so we can help you out with your website or with your membership portal overall. Alrighty. With that, we're going to wrap up. And if you found this content helpful, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Member Lounge. Give our video a thumbs up, and then also subscribe to our channel so you can get all the notifications with our upcoming events and also with our podcast episodes whenever they go live. Again, I'm Farhad Khan from Member Lounge, and we wish you all the best with your membership journey. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. We'll see you in the new year. Thank you so much. Bye for now.